Which Gumi berry shall rank supreme? I don't know. Actually, I do know because I already did this experiment, but you will soon find out. So, these are some Gumi berries. I'm growing 7 different varieties. Actually, I'm growing more than 7 varieties, but I'm testing 7 varieties in this video. This is a really beautiful one called Monez. It has huge berries. They are sparkly, they are beautiful, and they're delicious. Gumi is a great plant to grow if you're not already growing it. It's great especially for a home gardener because it gives reliable crops every year that you don't have to spray. Deer don't eat it, birds do eat it. That's why I have netting on it. Uh, there's a lot of variation in the varieties. Here's sweet scarlet next to the monez. You can see one is bigger than the other, and that's fine. There's benefits to small ones, and there's benefits to big ones, which we'll be exploring in this video. Here's a graft of a Goumi. They're easy to graft. I graft them in May when the weather is nice. And I've got probably a dozen grafts on those 3 bushes. Here's a handful of berries, and here is the 7 different varieties. So you can see they're different sizes, shapes, names, even little different colors. They have different seed shapes and sizes also. And yeah, we're going to be testing some. Okay, science time. Here's a scale. I'm going to weigh 10 berries and take the average weight of each variety. So there's the 10 berries, there's the weight, and then I record it in this spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet already filled out. We'll be talking more about the already filled out stuff later, but right now, just doing weight. And so those are all the average weights, and now I'm going to do the Brix. This is basically measuring the sugar level using a tool called a refractometer. My first time using this. It's a cheap one, but it seems to be working good. I calibrated it with water and then did a 10% sugar solution, and then it said 10. And so that was very encouraging and seems like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. This is, not professional science. It's amateur science, but it's still pretty useful. And, trying to make it as rigorous and interesting as possible. Recording some actual data rather than just kind of winging it and guessing. So, take a few drops, put it on this little glass pane, and then smush it with this other plastic thing. The liquid gets smushed down, then you look at it through this little eyepiece, and it reveals a number 2. I tried to get it on the camera. You can't really see it very good, but just to get the idea of what it kind of looks like inside there, you can see there's like a blue line where the Brix level is. And then I looked at it and I recorded it in the spreadsheet once again. So I put in the Brix level on the spreadsheet, and then I proceeded to do a blind taste test where I assessed the 7 varieties on a subjective scale 1 to 10 of how good I thought they tasted. And this is me tasting. That's what I look like. And what was interesting is that the Brix level, the sugar did not necessarily correlate with the taste assessment. There's a lot of other factors in flavor, including the acidity, which kind of affects your perceived level of how sweet something is, and a lot of other things that I can't exactly quantify. So this is what the spreadsheet looks like after putting in the taste test. And then after this, I proceeded to do a seed weight test. So I washed all the seeds as best I could, dried them off, put them on a scale, and recorded their weights. What's interesting about this is, of course, the bigger berries have bigger seeds also, right? But what I didn't totally expect is that the ratio of the seed weight to the fruit weight actually gets better the bigger the fruit gets. So there's proportionally more fruit to seeds, which is cool. So bigger berries, you actually get more bang for your buck, more fruit to seed. And that's pretty cool because I like big berries. They're a lot easier to harvest quickly, and they're just kind of fun to eat. And yeah, so that's the seeds. All right, so we have arrived at our finished spreadsheet. So what I want to address, I think, first are some possible issues or kind of constraints of this. One thing someone actually pointed out in a comment, which I think is a pretty valid point, is there's a uneven ripening time of these berries. So how do we test for Brix when they're all at the same ripeness? It's a little unclear how to measure when peak ripeness actually is. I mean, I tested these all at the same time, the same day, the same minute almost, but some of them might have been slightly more ripe than others. I tried to pick the ripest berries I could find. There's also a lot of year-to-year variability that I've noticed between these different varieties. For example, pippi was definitely larger than tillamook last year. This year it is smaller. I don't know why. Also, carmine was quite a bit smaller, which kind of brings me to my next one, is that the carmine that I have was sold to me as carmine by the nursery that introduced carmine. It's definitely not mislabeled by me. However, most people, the carmine that they think of is a berry size similar to tillamook, or possibly even the same variety as tillamook. So, do I have the real carmine or not? I think it's pretty unclear in the nursery trade without genetic testing what is the real variety or not. This is the one that I got, and I'm just documenting it so you can see. And so yeah, just take it for what it's worth. And then final, just like a caveat, that these results are neither wrong nor right. They're not definitive in any way. They're just data. And I tried to be as transparent as possible in what I did. And so I think that they're useful for what they are, but I would like to keep measuring it from year to year and add more varieties. And I think it will be really interesting to keep adding to these results. So next, some areas for further exploration. Measuring the acidity, I think, would be really useful. You can use sodium hydroxide to add to a fruit juice solution and then measure how much you've added to get it to a certain pH, and that will tell you basically the acidity of the fruit juice. So I'd really like to try that and see how that might be correlated with flavor or Brix level. One thing I also thought might be interesting is to measure the volume of the seed rather than just the weight. There's the potential that, some of these seeds are heavy but not as big. I don't know if that's true or not, but it'll be interesting to explore. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm hoping to do more experiments like this in the future in our food forest. If you're interested in any of the plants that I'm growing and selling, check out humbleabodenursery.com, and let me know in the comments if there's any kind of experiments or plants or varieties you're interested in learning more about. And I'm trying to put out a video maybe about once a month with a new experiment. So hopefully I'll be able to keep that up. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it.